Good morning or good evening to you all from wherever you are joining in from today. I'm just checking over on LinkedIn that I am in the right place. I know I'm at the right time and I know I'm with the right person. So let me just make sure that I can see us both clearly on the screen. For those that are joining, my name is Rebecca. I am one of the co-founders of the Coaching Catalyst. I run the Catalyst alongside my business partner and friend, Sarah Bramall. And Sarah will be here tomorrow with one of our coach supervisors, Phyllis Woodfine. But I am really pleased to be joined by Vanessa Parpinel today. Now, what we're doing is we're doing a series of showcases, showcasing our supervision team, but also showcasing our supervisees too. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Vanessa. She's already on the screen, patiently waiting into the room. So good afternoon, Vanessa.
Hi, Rebecca. Good afternoon.
And
And hello, everyone.
we're in a different time zone, so it's still afternoon over there in Dubai, isn't it? It must be about what, 5 p.m.
Yeah,
Good. We're still
for a little after 4, actually.
a little after 4. So welcome. Thank you for joining me. So for those who have not met you, you've done a podcast with us and that is due to be released. So watch this space for that. But for those who haven't met you before over on our social platforms, Vanessa, please do feel free to introduce yourself. So who you are and what you do.
So, hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I am a life coach. I work with individuals. I support individuals in finding clarity to unlock their inner resources and to come up with sustainable change that feels right for them. People dealing with burnout or transitioning from one big chapter of their life to another and are fearful of change. So yeah, that's what I niche in.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you.
And I know that this is a personal topic to you. And because I've been privileged enough to have many conversations with you and recently recorded the podcast, I know that this is something that's quite personal for you. So, what I would love to do at this point is just talk about how you kind of got into coaching and how you got into that niche, just briefly.
Well, before this, I was a flight attendant for 20 years, 18 years with a very successful international airline. I loved my job, but I could see that that chapter was over. And I was really scared because I loved my job. I was in a comfort zone. However, at the same time, I was going through burnout. I was really tired, operating on zombie mode. If that's the cabin crew lingo. Um, and I knew I had to just jump into the unknown. And I did it. And I have a background with yoga, meditation, so breath work and all of these things, healing, Reiki healing. And I thought, well, my next chapter, I would still love to work with people because people still fascinate me. I still love being a part of people's change and forward movement. And I thought, you know what? I think life coaching is good. And that's what made me, then look into life coaching. And that what made me, you know, just take the dive. Yeah. I can't hear you.
Hello. I said, you bet you giggled because I put something on the screen just a moment ago, which probably put
Yeah.
you off.
I'm
But we
still a novice. I'm still a novice. I'm really, I get distracted with things like that. I'm not good with online stuff, but
No, that's good. But it's a beautiful compliment. So I'm going to put it back on the screen, Vanessa, because one of your friends, supervisees, your peer coaches, is there to champion and to celebrate your awesomeness and your humbleness, and knowledge and insight. So thank you, Tracy, for joining us live in the studio today. And I think that might lead very quickly and nicely. So thank you, Tracy, for that nice transition, because we met you in the community where Sarah and myself are offer training to coaches as part of our associate role, our training role. And you were a trainee coach at the time. And I say this because we are now celebrating you as a qualified coach. who's now progressing into your transition to get your ICF credential with us on our mentor coaching program. But before we even go into future Vanessa, let's stay in the moment. So you chose to invest in Supervision and join our community. Tell me a bit more about your decision making around that.
Well, when you have a dream, it's one thing. And then when you actually get into it, especially coaching, I was with the Coaching Academy, they're really thorough. And I chose them because of that. However, it was really overwhelming. It was a whole new world for me. The terminology, everything. It was like I felt like I was bombarded from all sides with everything was new. So I was super overwhelmed. And you know that Sarah is a part of the Coaching Academy, and I loved her classes. She did the Grow model with us, and and I think it was through. I don't remember how exactly I heard of the Coaching Catalyst. Might have been through my study buddy, actually, Tamea, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it must have been her. Like, she's my friend now. And I think she told me about it, and we were like really nervous. I remember thinking, because I'm not working, I don't have an income at the moment, or even then. Now I am. So now I'm a coach, but back then. And it was a big investment. And I thought, like, oh, what do I do? Do I just go for it? I'm already paying for school. And then I thought, you know what? This is going to be good. I questioned, what do I need? Where do I want to be in my course? And how am I going to get there? And I thought, there's just one thing. I just need guidance right now, like real guidance. I don't want guidance like that's coming from here and there. I want the legit stuff. And I thought, you know what? The Coaching Catalyst, Rebecca and Sarah with ICF, I'm accredited with ICF. So I think this is it. And I did it, and I never looked back, really. It was the best decision and investment so far.
And it's a real honor of us to work with you, Vanessa, because like one thing that we see about you is you go all in. Like you're taking this seriously.
I do.
Which is, we want that, right? We want to work with people that are committed to their learning, to their growth, but also knowing that you contribute as well to the community, like to your other supervisees. Because I think, like, if you go in this half in, then you get half out. And if you go with this all in, then you get exactly what you put in. I believe the effort and the energy and the takeaways. So I just want to share that with you. And I love the fact that you were like, she was my coaching buddy about Tamea, and now she's my friend. Like, this journey is about connection, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. And then the other thing that you said there is around your processing, like what was going on for you when you were making the decision. So you were looking at where you were at and what you needed in order to move yourself forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I coached myself around that. I asked myself a couple of questions, like, where do you want to be in the course? How do you want to approach it? All right. So now, what tools do I have? What do I need? Okay. And then I move forward, and then I just took it one step at a time. Yeah.
And what's the missing piece? And you're right, it is one step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So when we met you, you were at the start, well, I guess in the middle of your coach training.
At the start.
Yeah. Oh, you're at the start. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're at the start. Now we've finished the coach training. So where are you now? Let's tell everyone where you're at now.
Now I am doing my NLP practitioner course. So, and I have my finals, my Viva, and the online exam on the last weekend now. I have my website. It's the coachingodyssey.com. So, and I have clients that I work with on the side, but obviously my priority now is my NLP, and bravely, I signed up for mentoring for my ICF ACC accreditation. And also that felt overwhelming. And then I had a call with Sarah, and she just reassured me. And then I realized, like, yeah, it's Sarah and Rebecca, if I'm really struggling, they're there. I know them. They're so, you guys are super supportive. So yeah. So now I'm doing my ACC accreditation with ICF, as well as finishing my NLP practitioner course.
And I know we're here to talk about supervision, but I can't just bypass that, because that is another investment of time, of money, of energy, in addition to all the things that you've got going on. And at the time of recording this, we've got some political, instances that are happening over in Dubai or surrounding areas. So that's what you meant by kind of, like it's a lot, right?
Yeah,
What I want to ask you at this point, and apologies for kind of deviating off of our original
it's
segue,
fine.
why the accreditation with ICF? Like, why now?
Um, I think that's super important in my personal opinion. First of all, for me, that's like, I like to think of it as a degree, a real degree. And I'm on it now. I might as well. I have the hours, I'm on it. So I don't want to stop. I don't want to slow down. And I don't want to be busy with starting up my business and then having to focus on mentoring. I want to be able to find my place with mentoring so that when I have my clients, it's not going to be like I have two big things at one time, or my business. I want it to be like, okay, I've got this now. And if you notice, it's a step by step. I'm almost done with NLP. This was my plan. I always had this in mind. I always wanted to go to get something with ICF. And also, it keeps me with open options, right? Because if I want to apply for a job in a coaching company, they're going to look for accreditation or a degree, which for me, this is a degree, So yeah, but this was always the plan. So
I love speaking to you because I always know that there's like a method to your processing. Um, when I talk to a lot of coaches, I always talk about a coach development plan. I don't stop talking about it because I'm like, when you qualify as a coach, then what? And people often go, I'm going to qualify as a coach, and then they go into limbo. They either miss the community, or they don't brush up on their coaching skills and knowledge, and then they lose confidence or impacts on their ability to show up as a coach. But what I'm hearing from you is there's a process. Like, I kind of know that you know what's in your plan. um, and you're spot on there when you talk about like what other coaching companies will look for. Organizations that are hiring internal coaches or heads of coaching or leads of coaching, or associate coaching roles, they are starting to become, and it's been happening for the last couple of years, more savvy as to kind of who they're going to onboard. And the ICF credential, obviously being the global leading body of coaching accreditation, is one of the most recognized. So if you hold that, and when you hold that at the end of the year, you can confidently know that you're growing your practice in the right way, not only just for opportunities but also for your skill set too.
yeah.
So I asked you at the beginning about your successes, and we both smiled about this, didn't we? So I'm going to share a success that I think that you should be celebrating. Is definitely a success of achieving the qualification and accrediting as and qualifying as a coach. I definitely think a success is you onboarding to that next step on your accreditation process. What would you say is a success of yours?
I agree with your version of success because I see it that way too. For me, getting my TCA diploma was the first success of this year. Um, working towards my ACC, enrolling and deciding, making that choice, that decision to go forward with it, I think is a success to me personally. Choosing to do my NLP practitioner and getting to the end of it. I don't want to talk too soon because I have my Viva coming up, but I did get my 72 questions, the final paper results, and I did okay. I passed. So, well, there's only a pass and fail. It's not that I did fine. But yeah, so all of these are I consider successful, my personal successes. Yeah.
Let's celebrate that, and I'm sure that there'll be many future successes coming for you too.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I know, me too. Me too. It's always exciting. I love being on this journey with all of you supervisors because I love seeing where you were at and also where you're at now. But I also love being on that journey. And I know, Sarah, it's the same. Like your successes and our successes, we share them. And so
Oh.
yeah, we're here for you till you say no more. So yeah, let's talk about the collective, the supervision collective. So you're in supervision
Mhm.
with us and currently being supervised by Sarah. What is it that you love about supervision that you would recommend people and coaches to know?
Oh, 100% without a second thought, the support. The amount of support that I felt throughout the journey, because when I joined the Coaching Catalyst, I was 9% on my TCA coaching diploma, you know? And then being with my group of my supervision group, like all the supervisees,
Yeah.
is that the term? They're all coaches, and they're all super supportive. I remember a few times I just had certain situations and I wrote it on the chat or the group, and I already had like two people writing, "Hey, we'll do a virtual cuppa. I can explain that to you. I can," that was like, it was really nice because, mind you, we're all connected online. I haven't met anyone in person. And to feel that kind of connection and support for me was everything. It was everything. That's exactly what I needed in my coaching journey, and I still need it now. I can't, so I'm signing for the next supervision again because I need it. Apart from the supervision, yes, that I need, but it's also that support, that nice feeling that you have. Yeah, you have that.
It's that connectedness, isn't it? To
Hmm.
know, yeah, you're not on this journey alone. You've got people there that are cheering you on and championing you. And yeah, okay, yes, obviously the supervision too, Vanessa, but there's nothing that could replace that connection. And you said you haven't met anyone yet, so I say yet. I'm going to add that in yet because one day soon. Sarah and I are already looking at our flights. One day soon. Yeah. Okay. So, and what I would love to also just tease out of you is like, what do you what do you in addition to the connection, like what is it what else is it about the supervision that you think this is where I need to be?
Well, apart from supervision, we have all those other side um, courses like the Learning Lab with Leonora, with Melissa, coaching triads. That's all a part of it, and it's super informative to me. I keep myself updated with all the coaching stuff. You know, I can identify where I might go wrong and then try and correct it before it's too late. All of these things, there's a lot. Like, you caught me off guard, so I can't think of it at the tip of my head, but there's a lot, and if I've decided to go for it again, surely it's been really valuable, priceless to me. And we all need supervision, right? And anyway, so if I was going to be supervised, I'd rather be supervised by people that, uh, you know, like the real deal. Like I said it in the podcast as well. To me, you guys are the real deal, people that have put in the work, know the stuff. So I know that the information and the learning that I'm getting is legit, you know.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. So, as we begin to wrap up, what we would love to do is firstly just share if anything's coming up for you that you'd like people to know about and how people can connect with you as well. So, if you've got anything coming up that we need to kind of keep our eyes peeled for or that we can celebrate you on in the future, what's happening?
Well, my website is coachingodyssey.com, and that's the name of my company, Coaching Odyssey. Um, I am on LinkedIn, so you can find me there. My name, Vanessa Parpinel. What's coming up for me in the future? Hopefully, lots of work,
Yes.
lots of clients, and more than anything, I would love to feel like I am fulfilling my purpose. And I know this sounds cheesy and whatever, but I really mean it. Like I would be so fulfilled if I could make a difference in just one person's life in a year to start with. That would make me really fulfilled.
And I doesn't sound cheesy at all, and I really wholeheartedly believe that you mean that. Like, I think knowing your background, but also knowing that you, and in this process, like you there, are destined to help people. And I can see that. So I hope and pray
Thank you.
that those people that are needing your support find you, because it is a partnership, right? And it's about connection and resonance. So I'm hoping if people are listening to this that you're like, okay, Vanessa's my person. Please do reach out to her over at the Coaching Odyssey. Please do also connect with her over on LinkedIn. And please do keep your eyes peeled for when we celebrate Vanessa over on our socials in the future. Please do. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for
Thanks,
your
Rebecca.
time
Thank you.
and your energy and everything else. I am just going to say farewell to everybody else on here before I end the live stream. So don't leave yet, Vanessa. So thank you to everyone who's joined the showcase today with Vanessa and myself. Thank you again to those that have commented and shared their love for Vanessa. We are opening doors to the Supervision Collective. We open them twice a year for a July start and a January start, and spaces are limited. Vanessa and I haven't shared yet, but we have 6 coaches to 1 supervisor. It's not a marketing technique or anything else. That is just how our service and is structured. So if you have a look at the supervisors that we have available on our website, we've got an incredible team of associate supervisors, all with different specialisms and different backgrounds. Please do have a look at who resonates with you, who you'd like to be supervised, and hopefully you'll be sitting in this chair like Vanessa in 6 months' time talking about your journey into coaching and supervision. I'll drop the links in the chat below, and have a beautiful day. Sarah will be joining us tomorrow with Phyllis Woodfine. I almost forgot there. With Phyllis Woodfine, one of our other associate supervisors. For now, Vanessa, farewell.
Thank you.